I used to think that if I told my wife exactly what's wrong with her, her response would be, "Yes, I see it now. Thank you for showing me the errors of my ways." To my surprise, that never happened. Finally, I saw that I was going about things the wrong way. Complaining, blaming, and shaming were simply not an effective strategy for creating more love and harmony with my wife. Once I realized this, I went in search of what really did create more love and harmony. Fortunately, several great strategies, backed by actual research, helped show me what could work. So why do so many couples continue to use the blame and shame game to try to get their mate to change? Because they don't know of another alternative. In this culture, that's what we've learned. Fortunately, there are 3 simple methods that can help you overcome blame and shame and get back to the love and connection you really desire. Positive intention. One way I learned to let go of blame and shame was to tune into my wife's positive intention. A positive intention is the ultimate positive reason your partner is pursuing a certain behavior. For example, if your partner complains a lot, you probably don't like that behavior. However, you can tune into the positive intention motivating it. The positive reason someone complains may be a desire for more comfort or pleasure, or to feel better. Those are all fine things to want. The problem is that your partner's strategy for obtaining them may be counterproductive in the long term. Trying to figure out what your partner ultimately wants from his or her irritating actions can be a major step in establishing empathy. As I started to understand my wife's positive intention for behavior that irritated me, I was better able to respond with love and kindness. Try it for yourself right now. Think of a behavior your partner does that you don't like. Stop reading for a moment and really do this. Now ask yourself, what could the positive intention be behind that behavior? If you can imagine your partner's positive intention, it will help you let go of judgment and allow you to be more accepting. Such acceptance is often the first step in helping your partner find a more effective method for achieving what he or she really wants. Knowing what you really want. Knowing your partner's positive intention is a great way to let go of blame and shame, but so is knowing your own positive intention. What are you really after by trying to blame, shame, or change your partner? In other words, if your partner changed in all the ways you wanted them to, what would you have that you don't have now? Usually, we are ultimately trying to experience a different feeling with our lover, such as more love, safety, trust, intimacy, or belonging. Unfortunately, blaming and shaming one's partner never leads to the feelings we really want. Therefore, it's a good idea to come up with a new strategy for getting what you really want. Ask yourself, what is a new way I can interact with my partner that is likely to lead to the feelings I truly desire? Try to answer this question as specifically as you can. When I asked myself this question, the answers were painfully obvious. The simple act of refraining from blaming and shaming my wife was an obvious good start. Then as I thought about it more, I realized that if I wanted safety, love, and acceptance, that's what I had to give to my wife. Initially, as I tried to do this, I saw how often I failed at it. Yet, seeing my failures were part of the process of getting it right. Over a few short months, I was amazed at how much it seemed that my wife had changed. She seemed much more loving. When I mentioned this to her, she responded, "I thought it was you that had changed. I'm just reacting to how you're different. What goes around comes around." Asking yourself, how can I interact with my partner in a way that will lead to the feelings I desire, is a good start. Of course, there is no single right answer to that question, yet if you ponder it for a bit, some answers will likely emerge. For example, you might realize that if you do small acts of kindness for your partner, or frequently say what you appreciate about him or her, it could lead to more intimacy, safety, or trust. Just the simple act of no longer blaming and shaming your partner is likely to lead to a positive change in the relationship. Yet, there are many other ways to create the connection you desire, as long as you focus on what you ultimately want and are willing to let go of old, unproductive habits. Just like me, a final approach to overcoming the blame and shame game is to be able to quickly let go of the judgments we have about our partner. When we judge our partners, we express a belief that they shouldn't be the way they are. I confess that sometimes I get judgmental about my wife's behavior. Occasionally, I see that her strategy for satisfying her desires is ineffective, or even opposed to her ultimate goal. Then, I fall into a feeling of self-righteousness and superiority. At such times, I say 3 magical words to put a quick halt to my judgments. Those 3 magical words are, just like me. The words just like me are a very effective antidote to the blame and shame game. After all, I often behave in ways that don't lead to the intimacy I desire, so when I see this behavior in others, it invokes a feeling of compassion. We're all human, and we all let our past conditioning influence our actions in detrimental ways from time to time. When you see something you don't like in your mate and you want to let go of your judgments quickly, try thinking the words just like me, and notice how it makes you feel. For me, it often brings up a feeling of compassion, or, at the very least, it helps me to let go of my judgments quickly. Blaming and shaming are like a cancer in a relationship. If they are allowed to live and spread, the entire relationship can slowly wither away and die. By focusing on the 3 ideas presented here, a whole new way of dealing with the inevitable frustrations in a partnership can be born. Yet, it takes practice. Due to no fault of our own, we've been taught to blame and shame each other despite the fact that such behaviors don't get us what we want. In this culture, that's what we've learned.